Hello, it is a double feature day. Basically my last video I was talking about leaders I expected to see. Now, I actually want to go into a bunch of strong card combinations that I think we're going to see at Connecticut. And this one's going to be a little lengthy video, and I know I tend to make my videos long, so I'm either going to split this in two parts or I'm going to see if I can do it very fast. So, my first topic about cards that we're going to see and why they're important. It's going to be the most lengthy one. Mr. Why You Do This? Mr. Boo Make That Ass Cookie? Mr. Shugesh You Too Much? Mr. Drop Everything. Because I'm coming through. Shugesh is strong. Everyone knows this. Just the super combo 4 yellow that's far too unrestricted and simply puts a 3 cost or less sand in board when you use it. The thing about Shugesh is that he is entirely too versatile. The dude's sitting over here like Thanos with all of the colors of the rainbow. In fact, Shugesh, Unwavering Solidarity Shugesh should just be Mr. Paints with all the colors of the wind, because he can literally use cards from every color. The only thing that holds him back from that is that black has no good coming to play effects that over him. So without further ado, depending on the deck that he is in, he will do many different things. Always, no matter what color you play, chances are this dude is included. Explosive Spirit Son Goku. He is a great counter, even though it's a neg 2, and we'll talk about that in a moment. Not exactly neg 2, but I got words for it. This dude makes incredible plays because while he takes 2 cards from your hand, he usually advances the board, and it's just powerful. Play him, combo piece into field. Explosive Spirit Son Goku destroys a tapped battle card. So your opponent swings, you play Mr. Paint with all the colors of the wind, he summons out your boy Lil Goku, and Lil Goku blows up something that's tapped. So the most dangerous part about this is, as you all should know by now, your opponent can combo up to 130,000. They shouldn't against the yellow deck, because that's bad, that's dumb. But if they do, and you have Shugesh, Explosive Spirit Son Goku, you literally put their entire combo into the trash can, along with the creature, along with their dreams, along with their dignity and self-respect, and it's just gone. Gone. So, we got that. Now, I'm just going to move into some of the other things. In green, he has so many targets. He can Shugesh out a Kaba to search your top 10, and that top 10 can find a Caulifla that could just deal you 1 damage. Granted, if you're already using Shugeshes, you probably don't want to be taking damage. But even so, putting out a card that fetches another card and gets you a card could still be the play. You never know when you need to dig. You never know when that extra 20 is going to be good. He can search Kale, or if you got Kaba and Caulifla on board, Shugesh actually just puts out Kale, which is huge. On the defense, your opponent swings with a Jiren, and you're just like, nope, Shugesh Kale. And then all of a sudden, they're like, my dreams. Like, it sucks. And on top of that, it can be used offensively. I'm swinging with my Kale. Do you know how much it sucks to get swung on by a Kale, only for them to boost that critical to 30k, and then drop in another Kale? Like, it's just mind-blowing. You need to watch out for these things. When you play against a yellow leader, you have to worry about Shugesh changing the landscape of your battle phase. On attack or defense, this dude is vicious. And we've even got more in green. You could actually drop this Broly. Now, when your field is flooded and your opponent drops Broly, yeah, he's not a problem. But in simplistic game states, such as early game when you're still not playing that many cards, or late game when you've already gone through the gauntlet of Explosive Spirits and Hidden Awakening Kales, and your opponent drops Broly, and you've only got 1 relevant beater on board, and that's all. You've comboed with your weenies. Broly is just a point and kill at that point. You choose one. Oh, you only got 1, so I guess you gonna learn today. So, like, it's strong. Moving on to red, which has the second most amount of targets. Literally, you could be on the offense. Now, with red, it is better on the offense. But you got culprits like this. You swing in, you Shugesh to go up, and you drop in a Gohan, knowing that Gohan's going to swing and either do double strike or draw you another card. That's excellent utility. By far. It's just excellent utility. You've got Pan, Because I know everybody likes swinging with a big field, but how do you like swinging with a big field, boosting one of your critters up to 25k with Shugesh, and then dropping in Fearless Pan, boosting that same crit 2-drop to 30k double strike crit? It's lit, fam. It's lit, and it shouldn't be lit. We're just going to put in some random, not even spice, but just funny stuff. If you're at 4 cards in hand, or better yet, you could be at 5 cards in hand, swing, drop Shugesh, taking you down to 4 cards, dropping this guy to a 2 in your hand, and bam, now you have Shugeshed out a double strike 25k threat. You need to watch out for this card. It changes far too much with just its activation. Granted, if your opponent is Shugeshing left and right, they're minusing from their hand. So at that point, you have to worry about what's on the board. If your deck has a fair amount of destruction, go ahead, child. You can blow up their fields, and then, you know, they've been dropping 2 cards a turn, or 2 cards on a swing, depending on how many times they've Shugeshed. So, it definitely has its drawbacks. Without Mecha Frieza putting their entire deck in the hand, this card is a lot more of a minus than it used to be. I just want everybody to know, it's still vicious. Now, the latest addition to the party. This is phenomenal. Now, depending on what deck you play, your Shugesh is now a Sensu Bean with 10k on top. Actually, yeah, just a Sensu Bean with 10k on top, except you can use it with no mana open. A counter that leaves a blocker on field. Any of this, Shugesh is too strong. Mr. Paint with all the colors of the wind should be anticipated. I don't think yellow is as strong as it used to be, of course. However, Shugesh is still a threat. That's all I'm trying to say. That is all I'm trying to say. Now let me scoop up these cards and move into the next one. So, moving on. We're going to go into some other things that you're likely to see. This is no surprise. You already know what Cell does. You play him on the field, put a 17 on him, bang, put an 18 under him, bang, there goes your hand. That's how it is. If you don't have Bloodlust, you have to know how to play around this to survive in a 9-round tournament and still just, you know, be a threat. Everybody should know how to play against Cell, but at the same time, you know, you may not have a lot of Cell players. The deck works against itself a lot of times. RNG is a problem. Even with that new Abundi card that's coming out in TOP, it'll still be a problem, just, you know, a little more fixing involved. But everybody should know how this just combo ends up working. When you play against an Android deck or a Cell deck, until you know they're not playing the Cell, you have to play a certain way. And if they're not playing the Cell, they're just literally chunking themselves out of very, very good value cards. But you just have to know how to play around it. Your hand can't exceed a certain amount. If you feel that they're going for the Cell play, don't awaken mid-combo. Like, don't awaken when they're starting to swing. You don't need those extra cards. Those extra cards are going out of the grave. Most of the time, if the Cell player doesn't know what they're doing, or if the Cell player is just pushed into a corner where they have to sell you, they've drawn too many pieces and they know they can only get off 1 cell and they have to do it at that point, most of the time, keeping a single negate in your hand so that Cell can't chunk you of more cards before ripping you, and then having a way to deal with it. I love Monaka, but there are other ways involved. The point is, most of the time, being able to negate, survive the turn, well, not survive the turn, but survive with more life, and then awaken the next turn when you've already been Cell ripped is generally the way to bounce back. Fu also has a lot of good properties here. There's so much you can do. But you're going to see this a lot because Cell is the people's champ when it comes to ripping away your opponent's plays so that you don't have to outplay them. Sorry, but not sorry. That's how I feel about Cell. Next thing. Next thing. With the inclusion of this dude, we have a couple more decks that are going to be more popular. 1, he is a barrier untapped 2 Goku. This is very important because along the side, we have had fringe cards like these, chilling. Very, very powerful, right? Very, very powerful, but didn't have quite the right framework. Intro Kaioken Son Goku, who you can evolve into this, get your swing off, evolve into this, take 2 life, untap it, do whatever you want to, or just evolve back into this. This allows a very explosive chain of events, and when combined with things like Battering Laser, it's savage. Now, backing even further into this corner of degeneracy, if you're playing a yellow leader and you have Shugesh, now your potential plays, unless you see the cell combo, can involve Shugeshing this guy into field. Meaning that you can only have 4-5 mana. But if you're at 4 life, you can easily just hit that dude, swing, hit that dude, take 2 life, do whatever you want. Like, you could literally go into this guy, they can't combo, but you can. So swing, drop Shugesh, drop this guy in the field, untap 2, do this, you have more mana. Between Sensu Bean, Unyieldings if you're playing blue, between Sensu Beans, Shugesh and this, you can go the hell off and not give. So, depending on how you play the deck, if you played your Kind Sand Gokus and all that janks, and you have Shugeshes and you have these in hand because Planet Vegeta is a card, you can literally just swing, evolve, you know, you do your shenanigans, you get out this guy, you untap, you evolve again, and you just blow out your entire hand while blowing out their life. It's a very scary thing, and people can go from 7 to 0 in the same turn, especially if you have Battering Laser. It's just scary because this card allows you to do it as soon as you get down to 4 life. Whatever mana you're at, you can essentially go the hell off with these cards. So, the other thing that this guy introduces is that he is a Barrier Goku that untaps once more. So, we might see a little influx of Fringe Vegetos on the board. It only takes so much. You have a Kind Saiyan on the field, you block an attack with the Vegeta come into play combo, then all of a sudden you only need 3 mana to Patara this on the field. He swings, unless they can remove it mid-battle phase, which is kind of hard that early in the game. You can mill your top 10 and either get this guy, which isn't even the best option at that point. You can get this guy, and at that point it's gross. When you play this card, if your leader card is Vegito, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and up to one of the cards in their hand, place in the drop area, then draw 2 cards. Then you may choose up to 2. So, I mean, worst case scenario, you guys are trading, you know, doing little footsies, poking each other's life totals, and then, you know, it's 4 mana, or even 3 mana if you can't get rid of their Kind Sand, which hopefully you can, because otherwise it's your ass cheeks. And they just block an attack with the Vegeta. It comes into play. 3 mana on their turn, swing, bam. 1 card from your hand, your best card on the field, they awaken, and then you're just like, no, what is life? Like, and that's where you don't want to be against a Vegito deck. Like, it's already bad enough you're being played with a Vegito deck, but you don't want them styling on you and getting that far ahead. It's a very powerful card combo, and this only adds more consistency to it. Moving past that, other cards that are just really good. Don't sleep on this card. You pull it out of your box, you're like, oh, it could have been a Caulifla, but at the same time, this dude evolves for no mana, just 2 cards in hand. And when that happens, he taps all your mana. So, I'm not gonna lie, I got savaged by it at one of the DMV tournaments. I had a Topo and 2 Whis in hand, and I had 2 Jirins on board, and I was just clapping ape cheeks, like, every turn. And I was like, I'm in control of this. Like, he cannot get out of this. And then, you know, I saw this card, and I was just like, oh. Like, at first I had to read it. It was that Paul Walsh, what it do, baby? And then, like, he evolved in this, and I was like, oh, that's what it do now! And, like, my mana got tapped, and I got sodomized, and it is what it is. So, this card is not to be slept on. If you see this card in a deck, in energy, get discarded, get comboed with, you know this guy is lurking somewhere, waiting to tap your mana and rob you of all of your defensive plays. It is what it is. This card was made to end games. That's what it do. And oh, by the way, if it plays late game, when you have 6 or more mana, he has triple strike too, plus additional attack. So don't let him get in your cheeks. You can't really stop him if it happens, unless you have Bloodlust, but I'm just saying. Next, we got funny cards, too. With the Caulifla coming out, well, with the Caulifla already out, we're starting to see these yellow decks for the Caulifla leaders, and they revolve around getting Ginyu Force out, and then giving them 5,000 more attack on top of all the BS they get. You got Reliable Captain, Let My Squad In. You know, he breaks open the club doors, he gets past the bouncers, and he puts any Ginyu Force into play from your hand, so you know he's devastating. You got Big Papa, who just gives all your Ginyu Force double strike for the duration of the turn. And then if they somehow have mana up, you know, you can play this as a combo and all your Ginyu Force gets even more attack. But wait, why do you need to do that when Caulifla can just detach? Well, I say detach, I'm sorry, Yu-Gi-Oh! XYZ. But, no, Exceeds aside, you can just use Caulifla's effect and give them all 5,000. So, just don't be alarmed when you start seeing Caulifla and all this yellow mana, only for them to play this and just go the hell off. It's very scary, and when they play this on turn 5, you really only have that turn to try to get rid of like 8, 9 Ginyu Force off the field before this guy comes down. And if you don't have Bloodlust or Nimbus, you're going to feel that pain the next turn. Now, we also have this. Again, set 3, they were trying to really speed up the state of the game. And so you have devastating cards like this. When that card gets played, if it is played in the right deck, i.e. Trunks, which just builds up hand and has enough red cards, when you play this, it's scarier than when it was in Mecha Frieza, because Mecha Frieza could do it earlier, but only had so many attacks. Trunks decks could build up so much hand that when this card comes on the field, it has 5 attacks. And that is not where you want to be. If you're not playing Bloodlust or Nimbus, that's pretty much a game. Like, even if you had 5 negates, your chances are you're at 5 to 4 health. You are not surviving this card. It's just very scary because lots of the cards that it gets played off of are very safe. This guy can't be Shugeshed into Explosive Spirit Son Goku if they only attack once. They attack once on effect, just like Jiren, it untaps. This allows you to dance around some things very well. It also can't be Kaled. If you have Winnies on the field, it can't be Broly'd. So this is a turtle card that goes right into this. This card is a little more vulnerable, but with this card, you're not swinging until you already have this on. Anyway, so of course, it still has its counters. Yellow is the best counter to this because Nimbus stops in its tracks if you have a certain amount of health. At the same time, Crush Your Ball really hurts. You Crush Your Ball one of these, or you just Crush Your Ball this when it comes out. And Explosive Spirit is still that dude when it comes to this. But if you're not playing yellow, this card can potentially hurt you really bad unless you're playing Cell and you've already negged their hand so they can't combo out on you. Moving on to this guy. He's strong. We already know what he does. If you've seen the San Jose, if you've played at locals, you've seen it. Thing is, he cheats out a lot of stuff, and it doesn't matter what it is, it's just, it can still be strong. You never know. The fact that he says, you know, you just play one battle card with 1,500 or 15,000 or less makes him very versatile. I mean, you could have a field of baddies and you play out this guy and this gal, and all of a sudden they go up and they're double strike. That's strong. You can play him and just extend your board presence with draw. That's strong. You can play him and reset the board. That's strong. You could play him and untap 2 mana that you use to evolve him. That's strong. You could play him, and if you have all red mana, which still happens even in Super Saiyan 3, lucky bastards, you can play this guy and just go the fuck off. So, he's very versatile, and every time you see him, it's a mixed bag until you see what he plays. Preemptive Bloodlust sucks, but sometimes you can't afford to lose your field or be Babadied. It's just really strong. He's a very good target red card. He's one of like the 6 good red cards in the game. Fear him. Next, black. Won't see as much play, but I guarantee you there will be Miras, there will be Mass Sands, and when you see this card, I guarantee it's going to hurt. Everybody wants to laugh at him. Oh no, I pulled him and it could have been something better, but when he hits the field and nukes your entire field and then he's triple strike, you're going to feel some type of way about it. He's not going to look that bad right then. Then also, especially with all the Super Saiyan 3s going around, I just want you guys to know, this card, it will be used. It's not even funny. You may think he's just like too fat, but it's all fun and games until you thought you were going back and forth with somebody and they cut off your ability to super combo, negate, block, any of that janks. And then the worst part is your next turn, you're not doing anything back. So you thought you were going well, you thought you were doing good, you thought you were going ham squad, and then just doodly-doo, this guy comes out and pain. So that is just my quick video on some of the things that I think you should expect to see. Some of them are going to be, of course, more popular. Some of them are going to be less, but all of them are valid. And I think that's the thing that I wanted to get at. So if you like this video, and like I said, please tell me if you agree, disagree, anything in the comments. But just let me know. Thanks for watching. You guys have a great day. Crimson signing out.